Hey guys, so for a couple of years I've wanted to build a racing simulator that had a full steering wheel column and a full dash. Uh, there it is. So I'm going to go through the build real quick, what we've got so far. It's not even close to finish. This is just like part one of where we're at with everything. There's a lot more to come, but I hope you guys enjoy the build, and then I'll get back with you afterwards to go over some of the finer details. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the build. Sorry that the sound is so much different from the music and me talking. Anyway, so we're going to get into a couple of the features of it first, not necessarily how it works. Okay, so one of the first things that I thought of when I was like, let me put a real column in a racing sim is tilt steering wheel. Everybody getting in and out and different people, different sizes. It just made sense to me to put that in there. Being that the steering wheel column is out of a Turbo GT, this Pontiac has got these little notches right here, which really feel good when you're gripping the wheel. It's a full-size wheel, which makes a huge difference in handling versus the Logitech wheel. So, big, huge difference there. The shifter, what used to be the flappy paddle behind the wheel on the Logitech, right now is retro to the blinker, so upshift, downshift, so you can, you know, you get it. Excel for the cruise control is camera view, and right now set is the horn, because the clock spring in this column is worn out and the horn buttons work where they want to. I may put a different steering wheel on it, but honestly, this one's kind of nostalgic with us, and it's real soft. It's got a good feel, and it doesn't slip in your hand. Good rig. Good rig. So the Logitech controls have been moved right here. As you saw in the video, a lot of wires got soldered to the control board in here that go throughout the whole system. Mainly all the stuff from the steering column, multifunction switch, things like that. The headlight switch controls the RGBs that are underneath it. You can turn them off, and when you do, they reset to white. Of course, everything is controlled by the power of the key. And when we get underneath, you'll see the relay and everything controlled for later. It actually controls the power for the steering wheel as well. So it can do what it has to do. And like I said, we're going to be filling this in with gauge cluster. We're actually going to put a radio in it. This cigarette lighter does actually work. It is powered by the power supply. The glove box, everything. We're going to be hooking everything up on that. Ashtray is there. We're hooking up a blower motor for the vents. Even this guy down here. So now let's kind of take a little bit more in-depth look behind, underneath. Okay, we'll start with the pedals. The Logitech G29 pedals are awesome for taking apart and mounting upside down. Take these two screws out and the pedals actually flip on the actual arm, and you just boop, 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 screw them up, and you take your wires and you put them through a little hole from the potentiometer. I did pull the rubber out of the brake pedal. A lot of people complain about that, and they are right. This feels a lot better. It's more dynamic now. There's a piece of rubber in this spring back here, but these guys are great for, even if you weren't going to build a simulator, I would highly recommend taking your G920, I keep saying G29, G920 pedals out of their case and mounting them in some kind of configuration like this. So here's a Corsair 520 watt power supply. Here's the 24 volt power supply brick for the Logitech. And over here, I've simply gone into the computer power supply cable, and this green wire connects to ground through the ignition. The ignition switch is actually right here on this column. So basically, when I turn this ignition switch on and off, it actually controls, I don't know if you can see the fan, but it actually controls the power on the power supply. So it's almost like a computer turning off. It's pretty slick. This relay controls from the ignition. When you have it back on its accessories. It just turns on the power for the radio and the lights and the cigarette lighter. When you turn it forward, it actually activates to give this guy power. And the reason that I have a relay hooked to the ignition switch between the power brick and the Logitech is because I don't want someone to sit down and turn on the power to the Logitech, but the steering wheel's locked and they screw it up because it can't turn. So it's just no good. You see it's letting us know it don't have power. But we'll turn on the key, and then it'll link up. There it goes right there. So outside of that, we have the wiring for the headlight switch that controls the power to the RGBs, and everything else is wired up in here. And then we have already ran power for our radio that's going to be in there. And I think at the moment that is a basic kind of technical breakdown of it. That's why I'm horrible at video editing. So you guys keep a lookout. Hopefully here in a few weeks or whenever we'll have more videos posted about this guy. And I look forward to getting the seats and the center console. We're going to have a full shifter, 6-speed. We're going to have a handbrake and a handbrake and a pop shifter. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'd like to give a special thanks to Sam. He supplied the wood and he helped put this whole thing together. Matt, thanks for the dash. He donated it. I'd also like to thank David from Free Metal Music. It's on YouTube. He supplied all the music for the video, including the first song, which is more well known off Moto Madness. His link to his channel will be in the description below, and he makes some awesome stuff. You guys go check him out. So y'all keep looking. We'll see how far this goes. I don't know. I may build a full whole thing out of it. We'll see. That's kind of the plan. So for right now, we're having fun with it. Y'all have a good one. Check you out later.
Well, we've been drinking and we crashed the car into the house, so we just figured we'd hook it up with the video game. So there it is.